listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie Paget-Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we welcome you to Flush Your Fat for Good, to be lean and healthy for life. We're excited. We have a couple of guests that we're very excited about. I want to let you know that we are a lifestyle for a lifetime. We're not a diet. This is something that we're trying to teach to everybody so they never have to struggle again. They don't have to do a 30, 60, 90-day diet to lose the weight, and then all of a sudden, when the event that they've been trying to lose the weight for is over, they gain it all back, or they're not taught how to eat properly for the rest of their life. This is a lifestyle. We call it health by design, not by default. Default is, it's like,
a default.
Yeah, you drive into McDonald's and I'm hungry. I got to get it, this kind of thing. Default is, TV tray dinners, and default is prepackaged foods and things like this. Now, this is health by design. It's based on biochemistry and physiology, and we focus on digestion, absorption, and elimination. No, this is something like you've never seen before because, number one, it works.
Yeah.
And you never struggle again. You don't have any cravings for your sugars or your starches. You sleep deeply. You lose safe, rapid fat loss. You think smarter. Your moods are better. Your what else? Your digestion is optimal. Energy's through the roof, and you're really
stronger.
Yeah. Hello. You're reversing the
guns.
Not bad, man.
She has guns, I'll tell you.
Let them know.
You're reversing the biomarkers of aging. So we have a website called Flush Your Fat for Good. That's number 4good.com. Please go there, check it all out. And we have a storefront we're going to be talking about later on. Right about this time, we want you guys to, Dr. Vicky is a researcher. She has been her whole life, really, but as a doctor, she's pretty into the research side. If you ask any question to her and she, doesn't know about something, she's going to go and research and get back to you in like 6 weeks.
Bookworm.
Yep.
I'm a bookworm.
So I love this segment because this segment's called Did You Know That? And Dr. Vicky's going to share with us today something you all should know. And that is?
Nutritional ketosis.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I hope all of you are enjoying your coffee from a couple weeks ago, your organic coffee, because as you know, there are many benefits. If you were tuned in, if you didn't, go to our website and watch our podcast. It's very interesting about coffee. You don't have to feel guilty anymore. And then you're drinking your cranflush.
Yes.
Cranberry. Last week was cranberry. I was astounded. But this week, I wanted to talk about nutritional ketosis because that is our first pillar. And we have 8 pillars. And this came to Jackie through divine intervention. And she just knew what to do. She wrote it all up. But I had to figure out what it was. Being the researcher, I wanted to know, what the heck is this?
Right, why is this
too.
working?
Right?
Why?
So
she's to blame.
So with her information and what we were supposed to eat and not eat, like eliminate starches, eliminate sugars, all sugars, and starchy vegetables, and eat mostly protein. I had to do some homework, and lo and behold, what I found was nutritional ketosis, which has been studied for years, actually. Since, and you guys, I found out that in the early 1900s, so the turn of the 20th century, there were expeditions that were going up to the Arctic, to the Canada, to Alaska, to Siberia, to Greenland, to study the Eskimos. And those tribes up there, because if you think about it, what do they eat?
Right,
they
it's
don't
not
eat,
like they've got a loaf of bread somewhere.
They
right?
don't eat crackers, they don't eat chips, they don't eat sugar, they don't have that. And this guy, Vladimir Stephenson, went up there and he did many expeditions and he studied the diet, and there were other people, a lot of studies done on these Eskimos who are part of a tribe in these areas in the Arctic called the Inuit tribes. The Eskimos are part of these tribes. And what happens is they went up to study their diet, and as they lived with these people, they were able to survive and do very well on their diet. The one explorer, he actually, sort of married common law, I guess, but he had a wife, took on an Eskimo wife, and they had a baby, and he was there for I don't know how many years and did fabulous. He did great. But I wanted to mention this because when we have you eat according to phase 1 in our lifestyle, what happens is you go into nutritional ketosis. It may happen days after you start. It may happen even a month later, 4 weeks later. Most people, it's about a week to 10 days. They go into nutritional ketosis. And what happens is your body, your brain, turns on the body to burn fat for fuel instead of your starches and your carbos and all that stuff. You begin to burn fat. And some of our people, we have some people that lost over 100 pounds. And they had a very different experience than we call day of exhaustion, DOE. That's the day when you turn over, it switches, the brain switches from burning carbohydrates and sugars and starches to burning fat for fuel, your stored fat for fuel. And some of our people that lost 100 pounds, instead of having a day of exhaustion where you lay on the couch all day, they call it day of energy. Right. Because that day is the day they wake up. They wake up, they have energy, they have pep, they're able to sleep, they don't have any more cravings. You see, because what happens is your blood sugar will stay at a certain level, consistent. There's not going to be ups and downs and surges and spikes because you're not eating those foods that cause an insulin response. So it's very, very healthy. And I wanted to tell you that because of the Inuit tribes who've been doing it for thousands of years, eating this way, they don't eat crackers and all, we discussed that. They eat, but they eat a lot of vegetables that are in season. They eat fruits, any fruits they can find in seasons. When they kill their animals, their prey, they eat what's in their stomachs, like vegetables. If there's plants in the spring, they also get glycogen from the skin, which is a form of, and the muscle, which glycogen is stored in the muscle and the liver, so in organ meats and stuff. But I wanted to distinguish real quick, and I'll get off this subject, but I wanted to talk about nutritional ketosis versus ketosis.
Yeah, good one.
This is not ketosis. This is not what you find in the ketogenic diet. In nutritional ketosis, you eat a lot of protein, like the Eskimos, and about half of that is fat, and about 20% of that is going to be your carbohydrates from your fruit and vegetables. And the ketogenic diet doesn't do any fruit. They do berries, I believe. They don't do a lot of fruits and very little. And the ketogenic diet, you reverse that. They do 65 or 70% fat. They do half of that would be, or less, actually less than half would be protein, and then maybe 5% would be carbohydrates, because they only eat greens. They don't eat many vegetables like we do, that are.
It's kind of hard to sustain that.
Yes, and what I wanted to say is you can stay on nutritional ketosis and in nutritional ketosis as long as you need to. There's no time limit for it, because look at the Eskimos. They've been doing it for thousands of years. And from the research, they said that the Eskimos cannot go into ketosis because their protein is so high. Their protein level is so abundant that they consume, that it's impossible for them to go into ketosis because they don't eat that much fat. Now, I'm sure we all thought they ate blubber and that was their deal. Yeah. Not true. It's not true. And one of the things, and I'll hand it over to you, one of the things that these explorers, Vladimir Stevenson said that he was shocked about was the fact that he expected to see short, chubby, stout individuals when he met up with the Eskimos, and he didn't. He said they were trim, they were lean, they were strong, really strong. He says, and vibrant and smart and alert, and he couldn't believe how they could survive and how well they survived in the ice. So when you get into our lifestyle, you should really check it out and go to our website and get the workbook and check it out. It's fleshyourfat4good.com. Order the workbook. How much is our workbook? $15?
Yeah.
15 something like that. And you can see what we're up to, but it's very effective.
But and we have phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 takes you into nutritional ketosis. You're on phase 1, I think.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you went on phase 1, then you went on phase 2. Phase 2 is when we teach you how to get back into some of the grains, sprouted whole grains, not the garbage grains and the starches, but the healthy starches. And if you want a dessert, we show you how to do that without harming yourself. And if you go to a special event, you want alcohol or whatever, we show you how, if you're a drinker, we show you how to do that, not to harm yourself and put fat back on yourself. However, some people, if they go on vacation or they go on phase 2 or they're like, it's a wedding, I'm going for it,
Vegas.
Yeah, hello.
What was very interesting also is that these explorers went up there and they were challenging their metabolism, and they took them in their tents and they gave them sugar and bread. They tried to get an insulin response, and it was not easy to do. They didn't spike
because they were steady.
They were steady, and they were doing this for so long that their body was strong in that.
Well, that's what we find when people are doing phase 2. But many people, if you get out of control on phase 2, you have the blueprint. You go right back to phase 1, and you get yourself back into the fat burning mode. But you will lose fat on phase 2 as well, because you're digesting, absorbing, and your elimination is max. Elimination should be from 3 to 4 a day. So that's one thing. Also, I like to be on phase 1 a lot more than phase 2.
So do I.
I do too.
So everybody is different.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's a no-brainer. It's easier too. It's a no-brainer.
I just feel better. I have more strength, and I like to be like an Eskimo. So, okay, I really like that. That was awesome.
And you know what? This guy, Stephenson, he heard about some blonde Eskimos.
Yes.
Blonde hair, blue-eyed Eskimos. So he almost killed himself and his crew to try to find them. In fact, a lot of his crew did die from the ice.
Really?
Yeah, because they weren't.
Well, he should have gone to Woodland Hills.
And they found. He found the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Eskimos. They were way the heck up, way up there in the Arctic, and they feel that they said that there were Scandinavians who were lost in the Arctic, and so now they're Eskimos.
Wow.
Up there, they're blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
I love this stuff.
Okay, so did you know that? Now you do. So now what we want to do, a lot of you guys have met Cathy Castelazo, and actually you'll read about it in our book. You've heard about us talking about Cathy on our conference calls, and I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago on our first podcast we had Cathy. Cathy is the one that when I started, Dr. Vicky's correct, this whole lifestyle came to me after a family tragedy, and it was through divine intervention that I got this entire program downloaded into my brain in about 20 minutes, and I started applying it, and it was amazing. The fat was melting off, the energy and the moods and everything were just like what we just said. And Cathy walks in and she goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "The dishes." She goes, "No, what are you doing?"
She's small and petite but mighty.
Yes. So anyway, the long story short is she made me put it down on paper for her clients. Then she made me put it up on a website for her clients. And I went kicking and screaming the whole way.
entire, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, just like that.
I'm not doing it. I go, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Your program's working a lot faster than mine. And I
Well-
had great programs. This one, that's it.
And she was adamant about it because she gets celebrities ready for the red carpet. She has celebrities all over the country, but mostly when it's Hollywood time, Academy Awards, all this stuff.
It's my best
And then
time.
she has people that are into their health and that are very, very serious about their body performance and in the training world. So that's why I want you to introduce Rafael. Mm-hmm.
Raphael.
There you go. Hey, you said it right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Raphael.
Rafael.
Okay,
Rafael.
there you go.
Yeah.
Get up
Yes.
closer so we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. All right, so this is Raphael. He works right next to me at the Palm Plaza in Thousand Oaks, and he came walking in my place with Leroy, who's amazing. Hopefully we'll have him on here too.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do kind of cross, promoting or whatever. And I said, I'm in, because, working out and everything, we're going to go, hand in hand. So I said, but you have to do my stuff.
Yeah.
You got to get on my program. But actually, I said you got to get on my reps first.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
as soon as I got him hooked, I go, now do you really want to pop? Do you really want to get that cut, just that amazing look? And by that time, was it 3 reps or 4 reps when I said, let's get on?
There was like 3 reps.
Yeah.
3 reps, and then things got a little serious.
We have your
then-
before and afters.
Yeah, it got a little
Yeah.
We're going to
serious.
be putting up your
Yeah.
before and
Yeah.
afters.
Yeah, so with that, when he was just really excited, he thought, well, he'll tell you about all that. But just in those 3 reps, and I was talking to him, and he was getting so excited, that's when I said, you ready to step it up?
Yeah, absolutely.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I was ready to go. Yeah.
So what happens? So she, she is small but mighty. But when
Yeah.
she says what she says, it's believable, right?
Absolutely, she's amazing. Yeah, as she said, I walked in there for the first time, and I didn't even know what reps were. I saw the sign up for the store, and I was like, what is this thing, And being in fitness for so long, I've been working out since I was 14, 15 years old. We only know one way, which is the hard way, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
And you learn different things throughout the years, but it's always you eat your proteins, you eat your carbs, you eat your veggies, and you got to understand that,
Your
you know.
starches, your oatmeal.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like my biggest breakup this past year was with my oatmeal. It was terrible. Like, it was horrible. I was like, she said you can't eat oatmeal no more. I was like, you're crazy. But yeah, so being a trainer, you learn a lot about nutrition. I have a nutrition certification, and you start to understand what works and what doesn't work for your body, or seemingly so. And you just get stuck to old patterns, which you can't break because it's really difficult. And when I walked in with Cathy, it was just like, it was more so along the lines of, hey, like, I know she's got a product that could help my clients potentially. Let's see if we can work together.
Mm-hmm.
And through getting to know her, we sat down maybe once or twice, I think. And I'll be 100% transparent. I was like, I don't know about these reps. And I was like,
I wasn't going
but-
to let you get out of that one.
yeah, she wouldn't let me go. She was persistent. But I believed in Cathy as a person more than anything. She's
Right
just so
on.
genuine,
Yeah.
and I could just tell, like, we would work well together.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, okay, well, you know what do I got to lose? Let me try it out, right? And then
Right.
the first time I sat down, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, she wrapped me up. I felt like a burrito.
I'm good. I rap good.
No, her rapping was amazing, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
laying there like, what did I get into? But,
No, it is unique.
It's 100% unique,
Yeah.
but it's amazing. Like, yeah, I mean, just like anything new, like, there's a little bit of getting used to. But the thing is she said, give me 3 reps, and then you'll notice a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that happened was right after the first 3 reps, it wasn't necessarily, I can't say that it was like, I did see changes in my body, but the most important thing to me is I felt so much better through the reps, through some of the supplements that I was taking, through the cranberry. It was just like my insides felt better than they ever have.
Yeah.
Just because, I've done no carbs before or whatever it is, but there was something about the process that just made me feel really, really good. So that continued on. Then, after that, she's like, okay, you got to come back. So then I think I proceeded to like 1 time a week or something like that. And as that went on, it was just maybe like 3 or 4 weeks into it, I was like, oh, this is serious,
Yeah.
And it was like, I saw, but here's the thing, right, is it's hard to make the lifestyle change. I'm just gonna be honest, right?
Yeah.
It's we all know that,
especially for trainers and nurses or doctors are my hardest.
they're hard.
Oh,
They're so
Absolutely.
programmed
Well,
into
I was
other.
going to say,
And
you're trained
internet-
into something else,
Yeah,
right?
and the
Yeah.
internet gangsters, you know, they're on there doing their
Yeah.
like vegan and doing their
Yeah.
this and
Internet's
doing their
gangsters.
that, you know.
No, it's hard because you're so used to one thing, and no matter what it is, you're used to something. So to come in, this isn't entirely new. It's just a healthy way of eating.
Right.
And the thing is with the combination of Cathy, the wraps, the results, and then the nutrition, it's like you can't not do it. You know, there's a couple slip ups along the way. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
you go out, you know, maybe have a
Well,
drink or
'cause
two.
it's
There's
new
a
for
learning
you.
curve.
But
It's
you
a
know
learning
what? We
curve.
always say it's not difficult. It's just different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Right.
It is
It's
different.
different. But
So once he got on the flush, his body just started getting lean. Because I remember him and I were talking. I said, "Do you want to have like when you know guys, they get the pump and they walk around with their shirts on and they're all just like pumped."
Yeah.
I go, "Do you want to keep
Cut.
that pump the whole time?"
yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole time. And you go, "Well, yeah, of course." I go, "You don't want to get all soft afterwards, a few hours later." And I said, "Okay, let's do this. This is what you have to order. This is what you have to do. You got to download this. Nothing costs you nothing. This costs you
Costs you nothing to do.
Yeah.
And when he
It's true.
started doing that, you know, we always check in because we work near each, you know, right here with each other. We're all family there. So his body just started shredding. You just started, the fat just started burning off. And
Yeah.
his energy, his face, chiseled. And that's what I told him. I go, "You're going to just get all like chiseled looking and everything."
But you know what's happening is when you digest, absorb, and eliminate, and the majority of the foods that you're eating, not only it's low glycemic, so it's not instigating an insulin response, and it's food combining, so you are getting the optimal nutrients from all your foods, but you're building lean muscle mass.
Yeah.
And even your heart is a muscle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everything that's happening with you, and your muscles hold up your skeletal structure.
Yeah.
So you're feeling more of a powerhouse through the wraps, which is helping you to be shaped, but also through Flush Your Fat, you're learning how to feed your body the way I always say most people should have been fed after they were weaned.
Yeah.
You know, because this
or
is
in
how.
the stomach developing.
Yeah,
by the
well,
parents.
you know, they say you are what you eat, but it's really you are what she ate. You know, the mother. You know, because that's how important nutrition
Well,
is.
people have not, you know, they've lost track of how to eat, you know,
Yeah.
and we've been born with paradigms from our families
Absolutely.
to eat certain foods in a certain way that are many times, most times, not healthy at all. And we
They don't
still
know
eat-
they don't
No,
know the rules.
and we're stuck with those paradigms too,
Right.
of our ancestors, and we were born with them. You know, we didn't want that stuff, but we got it anyway. And in our experience, most people don't know how to eat. You know.
No,
You
absolutely.
know.
Or they think
They don't know
to
how.
eat.
They don't know what to eat. They don't know how to eat. They don't know what to eat.
Most people don't even think that they know how to eat. They just
Right.
they're
They
just
just eat.
going about life. It's like
Yeah.
it's not something that you're conscious about, right?
Right.
No,
No,
that's true.
They don't
Because
think
when
that it-
I
yeah.
always say when people take a bite of food and they chew it up and swallow
Right.
it, they don't have a clue where it's going after that.
No,
No.
no.
You know, and I asked somebody, I said, you know, I can't remember who it was, and they were telling me over the phone, "Oh my God, I have this horrible pain and it's right by my liver." And I said, "It's your liver? So if you go down to where your belly button is, are you going to the right or the left?" You know, I'm over to the left. I said, "That's your stomach, you know,
Just
your
plain-
spleen or your
Yeah.
stomach, you know."
Uh-huh.
But over here, your liver, where are your kidneys? Where's your gallbladder? Where's your, you know, people don't know about they know more about their cars than they do their body.
Absolutely.
Now, you're a personal trainer?
Correct.
Okay. So, what do you personally train?
Everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Hello.
So right now I work at 2 different gyms. I'm kind of bouncing between the 2, but so interestingly enough, I'm originally from Northern California. I spent some time in San Diego. I actually went to UCSD and got a degree in environmental engineering.
Nice.
I worked as an engineer for 2 years, but then decided to completely change my life. Reason being that
Wow.
living a sedentary lifestyle, I automatically saw myself gain weight.
Yeah.
My eating didn't change very much. My going to the gym didn't change. The only thing I did was sit down, and I put on 20 pounds. And I
Wow.
saw myself in the mirror. I'm like, this is disgusting. So,
It's unhealthy
it was,
too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Oh
terrible.
yeah, they say it's like smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and then you go into the office and you're stuck to the coffee, to
Oh,
the
no
creamer,
way.
and then you walk and you got, chips, candy, the
Your
whole
only
lot.
escape is the coffee and the creamer.
That's literally
It's
it.
the truth.
Yeah,
They
so
don't realize it's like a drug. I mean, it is a drug.
No, absolutely it is. So
Well, the
then
sugar.
once I moved into kind of the valley area, I was able to switch career paths and then join a gym. Now I'm doing group fitness instruction, and I'm doing personal training in the Woodland Hills, Westlake Village area.
Nice.
So I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's been a life-changing experience.
So you have a
He's
email,
great.
right? What's your email?
Correct. My email is coachraf, RAF52@gmail.com. Also on Instagram, it's at coach_Raf, and then with another underscore. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, so, and are you
He
going to
speaks
these
so
two
well.
different gyms, and then you're working with these people at these two different gyms?
Correct.
Okay.
Reason being that my ultimate goal was I was previously 10 years to be a motivational speaker.
Uh-huh.
So with the group fitness instruction, I get to motivate a large group of people and put on a mic and be in front of a crowd.
He's good. You're
which
good.
I
Nice.
love. Yeah. And
You're
then
good.
Okay, then you have to get some clients happening.
absolutely.
You get them on the wrap, you get
We
them
got
on your
one.
training, and
We got
flush your
Earl.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
one.
He's
He's
Yeah.
like
Right
6'4".
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then,
Wow.
and then you bring him up.
Yeah.
That's the one.
You bring him here, and we'll
Absolutely.
introduce and talk with him too, so
Yeah.
people can see what's going on in the fitness world.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, things aren't looking too good in America.
No.
We're the #1 nation for obesity.
Absolutely.
You know, I went to Costco yesterday. It made me so sad because we're #1 in the world, the U.S.,
Yeah.
in obesity.
Yeah.
And that's our mission, is to bring awareness to globesity, the
it's-
pandemic of obesity. But it was sad to me because I figured it out. It was like 6 or 7 out of 10 people were fat. I mean, like 20, 30, 40 and above overweight and struggling. And I could see in their face they were just struggling.
Right, and
miserable.
it breaks our heart.
It's so sad.
You all have to know this breaks our heart. That's why we
Yes.
decided to write a 300-page book.
That's right.
We wrote this with Kathleen Powell,
Mm-hmm.
and this is our content of 60-plus years, Dr. Vicki and my lifestyle experience, clinical practice, and Kathleen Powell helped us to write this book so that we could get it out to everyone. We wanted to get it around the world because, you know, it's sort of like having a baby and you leave the hospital and you don't know what to do with it, you know. It's the same thing when you get to a certain, even when you have a baby, you start feeding the baby wrong.
Yes.
Or
Right.
if the child falls and skins his knee and he's crying, then what does mom, dad, or grandma do? Oh, here, honey, here's a cookie.
Or
You know, this-
lollipop.
or lollipop. This will make you feel
Feel
better.
better.
So rewards with junk food, rewards with sugar,
Emotional eating.
rewards with yeah, all of that stuff. We have a lot of people that are pretty messed up over that.
Can I share something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I can relate to a lot of people on here, reason being that I grew up an extremely, extremely overweight child. I come from an immigrant background. My parents are Salvadorian, and from the ages of 7 to 15, I literally ate Burger King every single day.
Wow.
So in 5th grade, I weighed 185 pounds, which I must have been 10, 11 years old.
That's
By the time I was 13, 14, my freshman year in high school, I weighed 250 pounds and I was 35% body fat.
Shut up.
Oh my
So,
God.
and I say that to say people may be looking and be like, oh, well, you're already in shape, you're in trainer or whatever it is, and it's like, no, I understand the struggles of looking at yourself in the mirror and not feeling good, right? So,
Wow.
and here's the thing, right? Is even from that time till now, it's like I've been in relatively decent shape, but I've always carried a little extra around the midsection because of my upbringing, right?
Sure.
And I always tell Cathy, I think I mention it every day. I'm like, I never thought it'd leave. I never thought,
Right.
and it's not.
Right.
It
I
may
got
not
him
be.
down. I mean, literally, he always just thought that's how he was going to be, and I'm all, dude,
Yeah.
come on now.
You know, you have to have
Shred.
faith in the body God made for you. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. And your body, you turn over all your cells every 7 years, and your body wants to be in homeostasis. You know what? We should give Jennifer a call because
Jennifer tried to call a couple weeks
No, no,
ago,
yeah.
and we're
We could
going to
in,
call her.
But let's call her
Yeah.
because you're going to understand Jennifer's plight as well.
She's been wanting to call in.
Go ahead and get that going. that's amazing, and that's why you have a heart for people where you want to help
Yeah.
them.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
to let us know when she answers, or will we hear? Oh,
You're so good.
I love it.
Okay.
Hello?
Jennifer,
Yes,
Hi, Jennifer.
we wanted to call you. Are you watching the podcast at all?
I am. I
Awesome.
am.
Did you hear Rafael's story?
You guys look, I did. You guys look great.
Thank you.
Thank you. You sound good.
And Rafael has a great story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to especially call you right now. I did, because I was like thinking of Rafael's story of how he grew up. And I want you to share your story really quick as to, you know, your plight and what you've been through and where you're at right now.
Sure. I did not learn a lot about eating and cooking and nutrition and all of that growing up. I don't think that kids are taught that. But we ate pretty well, Mom. Had a variety of food and cooked meals every day. But when I graduated from college and started out on my own, I did not know how to cook, and so I ate a lot of fast food. And I was a pretty normal weight at that time when I first left home, but the weight crept on pretty quickly over the years, and I gained over 100 pounds. I was shocked when I got to 200 pounds. I wouldn't even admit it to myself. And I had tried different things over the years, but I was also scared to really try something because I thought it was going to taste bad and that it was going to be hard to do. So even though I made some attempts, they were kind of weak attempts. But then I got to the point, like I said, where I went over 200 pounds. I wouldn't even admit it to myself, but I felt like, it's one last chance. I've got to try. And
Yeah.
I made that decision to look for something, and then I went to a meeting in Texas, and I saw a woman on stage that I had known for about 6 years, and she was on the big screen making a presentation, and she looked smaller, and I thought, aren't you supposed to look bigger on the big screen than you really are? And then a couple weeks later, she posted to Facebook, and I had just, like I said, just made the decision I was going to make one more try, and I had gotten off pop, and I decided to walk again, and then she made this post on Facebook and showed her before and after pictures, and that's when I learned about Plus Your Fat for Good, and I decided I've got to do this, and I wanted to lose 100 pounds, and I thought it was going to be hard because I was eating a lot of sugar and drinking a lot of pop, but instead of focusing on what I couldn't have, I focused on learning the program and learning what I needed to know and learning this new information about nutrition and health and all of this. And because I was focused on that, it was relatively easy for me. I didn't miss the sugar. And like Dr. Vicki was saying earlier, I was one of the people that did not have a day of exhaustion. I was exhausted every day. I was taking a nap every day that I could. But all of a sudden one day I didn't need a nap, and I felt like I had a lot of energy, and I thought, yeah, how come I didn't have the day of exhaustion? And then I realized I was living a life of exhaustion. And it was amazing. So over 10 months, I lost over 90 pounds. My body fat, when I started, I had a DEXA scan just not too long before I started, and my body fat was over 50% body fat.
Wow.
And then I dropped down, I lost over 90 pounds and dropped down into the 20s on body fat.
It's amazing.
So it's been an amazing journey, and I've learned a lot.
Now, are you going to go back to pop and soda and garbage?
Ice
We would
cream.
kill her. We'd track
Pop
you
is not even appealing to me anymore. I don't even want to taste it.
You can tell you're from the Midwest. Pop.
Where are
Yeah.
you? Where
Pop
are you?
soda.
You're in Kansas City. Where are you? Kansas?
I'm in Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah, but this was now like with Rafael. Can you believe Rafael's story? He at the age of 10, 5th grade, you were
Yeah.
weighed how much?
It-
185, and then by the time I got to 13, 14, I was 250 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
heavy.
If you feel like there's like you're not ever going back. You
Yeah.
feel like that you're just stuck that way forever.
Did
know?
you feel that way,
Is-
Jennifer, that this is you for the rest of your life?
I kind of did, but I thought I've got to try one more time. I had watched my mom's health deteriorate, and she was very overweight when she passed away. And I thought I've got to try one last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, you did amazing. And you are now the coach and the host of our Power 100 call we have every
Oh, wow,
Wednesday.
that's good.
Yeah, and we have people 100 plus pounds. We have people at 555 pounds. And we even teach them certain things of exercise because they're bed-bound, home-bound, or chair-bound.
And the walkers
Yeah,
and
and
stuff.
we have to show them how to exercise, which is something maybe you
We'll
can
have
help us with.
Raphael do a
Absolutely.
video
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us.
Raphael
be
can
so
help
good.
us,
We'll do
right,
it.
Jennifer? That would be awesome if we can get Raphael on the phone one day, or at least work out some exercises for our homebound Power 100 people. And
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
and because all we ask for them is to walk 5 days a week. Okay, that's the studies. 5 days a week, 30 minutes minimum. But our people that are over 500 pounds, 400 pounds, they can't do that. Their knees, their all of their. We get them up in walkers to a point, but the exercise for some of our Power 100 people, we need their caretakers to just lift them up off the bed and then put them back down off the bed. And
Just
then
get
use
them
some
active.
resistance bands and things like this. So
Jennifer, what did you suffer with your physical abilities when you were heavy? What was your highest weight?
My highest weight was 223, and I had a lot of pain in my joints and my back. I couldn't stand for very long. When I went to stand up after sitting for long periods of time, it was like how you see an old person go to stand up. And I thought that it was just the aging process and that it was just the way my body was going to be.
yeah, but you're not that old.
She's younger than
I
I
did-
am, baby.
The hell are you talking about?
right?
Growing old is not for sissies, but you're not that old. So you actually thought just getting down on your knees and trying to get back up was part of your age?
Right. I had a test done at a gym one time by, I guess she was a personal trainer. She had tested me on some different things, flexibility and my heart rate, my stamina, all kinds of things. And she had this clipboard, and I was doing all kinds of, lifting weights and stretching, leaning forward, and she'd measure how far I could stretch. And I don't remember exactly everything she did, but when she finished the test, she told me that I had the body of an older person. It must have been it was probably like in my late 20s when I did it, and she probably told me I had the body of a 40-year-old, and I thought that was
Raphael
really
would have
old. But
said
anyway,
that
it was something older than what I was.
That's brutal.
And so I
Yeah.
just have always had it in my mind that my body was aging faster than everyone else.
Yeah.
But now those things have reversed, and I can kneel on the floor. I can stand up without hurting. I can start walking immediately. And I know that those things are gone, and I'm not going to go back.
And I heard you ran across the parking
Yeah,
lot to help
you
somebody
chased some
once,
woman
right?
or something.
I've been running after people now, and I never thought to do that before. When
Where's
somebody
Jennifer?
loses something, or
Jennifer just
shopping
runs.
carts. When shopping carts are going, across the
Crazy.
parking lot downhill, I'm rescuing them from hitting cars and stuff. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, listen, thank you for picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, we want to tell everybody Jennifer will be hosting the Power 100 call tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Yes.
We're going to post
Yes.
it because we've opened up the calls to everyone, and we have it. That call is geared to people that have, 100 plus pounds to lose, and those are different people.
Different category
You got
of people
10,
with different
15,
issues.
20 pounds,
Yeah.
40 pounds.
Yeah.
Now, when you're facing 100 plus pounds, 200,
It's-
300, 400 pounds,
Yes.
you know,
It's a
completely
hopeless
different.
situation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we give them
Sad
hope,
and
and we're
hope.
there with them all the way. So, we're gonna pick Raphael's brain to see what he can do to help us with maybe a program for
program.
these people.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Jennifer, thank you. Awesome.
Thanks so much for calling in, Jennifer. Or answering the phone.
Yeah.
I called you.
Thank you for calling me.
Okay, Jennifer.
Thank you
Jennifer,
so
see
much.
you later.
Bye.
Okay, so
Bye-bye.
Bye.
we have 12-year-olds with 41-inch waists. Like, you can
Yeah.
understand and
9
relate
too.
to that.
9. I mean, I had as early as 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have 87 and 92-year-olds in walkers that the 87-year-old lost approximately 76 pounds. 92-year-old. They were all saying, these older women in their walkers, and they had so much pain, so much, you can relate to this
The pressure
because
and everything.
you're looking at these people, they're not trying to be beach bunnies, you know?
Well, they're going to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know, if you're 20 pounds or more overweight, which I used to tell my patients, plan on being in a wheelchair because your joints cannot take it. Your back can't take it. Your knees and hips can't take it.
But these women lost their weight.
Yeah.
And they said, I wish I'd known about this 30 years ago. So, you're blessed. You're 29.
Yeah.
You not only learn something for your longevity. How old do you want to be when you take your last breath?
150.
Right on.
Whoa,
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Records.
He's going to be training you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
110.
111.
Oh,
So, yes, you'll be able to help me till I'm 111.
I got you.
I got you, babe. So, I quickly want to go over the website that fleshyourfatforgood.com, and we have some really groovy little things up there right now. If you go into the storefront, you're going to see starter kit number 1 and starter kit number 2. Starter kit number 1, we've made it easy for you to get this thing happening here. And you have the workbook, which is cool.
Right? I do love the workbook.
The
I
book
love it.
will be coming out when? In January?
Well, our big book, which is 300 pages.
It'll be like your reference book with everything. in
Yeah,
it.
it's like the Bible of everything.
Yeah, that's
We
check
also
it out.
have the chart, the food combining chart. We have the low glycemic charts. We have the day at a glance chart. And these are groovy. These are the ones I love the most. This is the shopping
yeah, I
pad.
love
loves the shopping.
Yeah,
list.
because then you pull a sheet off, put it on your refrigerator, and you go, oh my God, I'm out of cranberry juice, or I
Oh,
need the soy
chicken,
milk, or
oh,
I
yes.
need chicken. Bada bing, bada bang, and you can just take it off your refrigerator and go shopping. The next thing is, in starter kit number 1, we add the workbook and all these charts, plus the GLA and the CLA. And GLA, these are the essential fatty acids. You have these, right?
Correct.
Okay. These are the essential fatty acids. GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, and CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. Only took me
Very
3
good.
weeks to really get that down. But the CLA prevents the enlargement of your fat cells, breaks up, and it also creates good, strong, lean muscle. But it also, if you just Google what CLA can do for you,
Oh, it's good
for
stuff.
heart, prevention of cancers, all kinds of things. GLA really can, it's great for your skin, eczemas, things like this, but also it stimulates the serotonin in the brain, so it gives you a calming effect, makes your skin glow. It's awesome, but the reason why we use it for Flesh Your Fat, one of the main reasons is because it stimulates the brown fat to burn the white fat. You're born with brown fat, and brown fat, they call it mitochondria fat because there's a lot of blood in it and it's a browner fat. But that is what God has given us so that, especially when you're it protects, but when you're a baby, you can't keep yourself warm.
It's for
And-
heat, right?
Yeah, and you shiver, it makes you to shiver, helps you. Interestingly enough, the obese people do not have a lot of brown fat. So, but we all have brown fat. And it's a unique thing that we have to help keep us warm so we don't, especially if we're
Insulation.
in this, yeah. And it has a mechanism
Yes.
of stimulating for heat. And that'll help to burn the white fat. And the white fat is what we do not want. It's okay to have a little kush, but
You know,
we want to be lean, man,
Yeah.
and cut and carved.
and the CLA takes care of the belly fat, helps you burn the belly
CLA
fat.
is about that belly fat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you know what? I read something in an article. I heard ding-a-ling-a-ling. I read
Michael.
something in an article that said that the visceral fat, which is under the skin, you know, the puffy stuff under the skin. They're calling it an organ of its own. Its own organ.
Jesus.
I saw a movie on Saturday night once like that.
Oh, you love Saturday nights.
Scary movie. That's a scary
The
movie.
invasion of the
She loves
visceral
that stuff.
fat.
Well, visceral fat is the one that'll kill you.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
kill you.
And you cannot liposuction it out.
No.
You
Okay.
can't. They won't
Around
even
your
attempt to
organs.
do it. They
No.
won't
No.
even attempt.
No.
Well, and also it suffocates your organs, so you can die of a heart attack when you have visceral fat all over.
Absolutely.
So we pay
Bad.
attention to that.
It's the dangerous stuff, but these two together are very good for that.
Yeah. So
And our
with
lifestyle.
starter kit number 2 does not have the GLA CLA, so it's up to you guys how you want to start out. But the starter kit number 1 is really cool because you can right then and there you can download the ebook. It's a workbook and it's digital, or you can order the hardback or whatever you call this, the thing that goes through the mail. Either way, you can get going right away on your life and change it quickly. So we've got like 3 minutes left, and I want to ask you, when you train people, what age of people do you train?
I train all ages, and I'll elaborate just a tad bit on what is the key denominator for change, and
Okay.
it's entirely mindset, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're watching this and you've stuck through it, is because you're looking for a change, right? And when we're telling our stories, right, whether it was, you know, when we called or what I said, is the one thing that everyone has is a why. You have a reason why you want to do this,
That's
right?
right.
So no matter if it's the 12-year-old kid that has a super big waist or at 85, 90-year-old people, some people just have lost the will to try. So if you don't find the will to do this, you're not going to do it. You have the how, you have the what, right? It's sitting on the table. You need to find the why, right?
Sure is.
Like that's your solution.
No,
it's right
exactly.
there. So
That's
you need
it.
to look inside and find a reason to do it. And what better reason than to not sit in a wheelchair, to feel better, right? To look better, to just overall just live a higher quality of life.
And
so
do something for yourself.
without
That's-
a doubt.
With
'cause-
that's a value.
yeah. No one's going to take that and put it in your mouth for you.
No,
No one's going
no.
to call. No one's going to do this for you. You have to do it for yourself. Because if you don't,
Good point.
then you're choosing. Understand
Right.
it's a choice to live an unhealthy life. It's
Right.
not given to you. It's a choice.
That's
So
right.
You got to make good decisions.
That's excellent.
Let's,
That's
Kathy, give your information so that if people want to get wrapped,
Bear Wraps at
spell it, B-A-R-E.
BAREWRAPS.com
Okay.
at 2695 East Thousand Oaks Boulevard in the Palm Plaza.
Do you want to give your email? No?
okay, but this is in California.
Yeah. So Jennifer, you
Okay, all over the-
Jennifer, you can't get wrapped every
Right.
night.
Unless you want to get on a plane.
Yeah.
But I am licensing and I am making a video to be able to do home care.
Okay, good.
So we're going to be distributing too, and with him, doing, putting together videos for people that are in wheelchairs.
Yes,
and all that.
that would be fabulous.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
So, okay, you guys, thank you
I think
so
our
much.
time's run
We
out.
want to thank you, Rafael,
Thanks,
for
Rafael.
coming.
Thank
That
you
was
very much.
awesome.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Miss Cathy
Thank you.
Castelazo. And thank you for joining us. Flush your fat for good, to be lean and healthy for life. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.